Peace everyone, Unmask Art here, and welcome to day 15 of Inktober. We're kind of in a halfway point, I guess. There's 31 days, so we're real close. We're half a day away from being halfway done. So today I'm going to be doing some more coloring. In fact, I'm going to be doing pretty much everything in color. And before I start on the project, let's go ahead and check out some of your guys' lovely pieces that you sent me. So let me get that set up. Here we go. Here's one of Fine Art Anna's pieces. Very, very lovely portrait. And here is another one of hers. I think this was for Fierce. I think that's a moose. No, it doesn't. Maybe not a moose. I'm not quite sure what antler animal that is supposed to be. Here's one from Elise. Really nice lighting on this one. I believe this is digital, but still very nice. Here's one that Brenda did of a dragon, and we have our little nugget running away there. Very, very scared nugget. Here's another one from Don that he sent me, his Screech one. His pieces have just been really nice, super colorful and detailed. And here's another one from Dom, and it's a giant moon, so I believe this is for the giant prompt. What else do we have here? Here's one from Wendy that she sent me today, and it is super nice. This is her shattered piece. It has kind of this heart on glass that's being shattered. It came out really nice. I like the colors. Here's another one that Wendy did. I believe she may have been slightly influenced by My Girl that was caught in the rain. Very nice. Here's Ankush's Mystery Machine. This is actually for today's prompt, Mysterious. This was just brilliant. I loved it. Here's one from David, a cute little mouse, and I think that's a cheese. I'm not quite sure exactly what it's standing next to. Here's another one from David. I'm not sure what the prompt for this one was. Maybe that was for yesterday's prompt. Here's one from Cathleen, a really fierce Wolverine. I thought that was really good. She did some ink tints, if I'm not mistaken. Here's one from Mandy, not to play favorites, but this one might be one of my favorite pieces. Love the colors that you're using, Mandy, in your pieces. Here's one from Renate, a couple wolves kind of play fighting, or really fighting, I guess, I don't know. Here's another one from Renate. This was kind of a pointillism piece, which was kind of nice, created a fun, unique texture. Has a couple ants crawling up on the cake. And there we go. That is all the pieces that you guys sent me. So thank you again for everyone that sent me their pieces. I really enjoy seeing them and waking up to them every morning, so thank you. Like I mentioned, today's prompt is Mysterious, and I kind of alluded to a little bit as far as what I was going to do for today, and I also kind of shared a little sneak preview over on my Facebook page, because I was yesterday was the first time I used these inks, and the tiger was pretty good. Here's another look at the tiger. He came out pretty good. It dried a lot better. It was kind of hard to photograph, but it turned out pretty good. Not too bad for the first time using the colored inks. Still learning, and this paper, this diaper paper is not working too good. Hello, Wendy, Hildy, Anastasia, Wendy again, Ankush, Sad Kitty, Christy. Hello, everyone. Glad to see you. Yes, of course, Sad Kitty, you can send me your drawings, and the way to do that is clicking on the link down in the description, and then you just simply message me the photo on Facebook. Try to send me, relatively good photographs of your work. Try not to get too much background, and try to get it squared up a little. That's all I ask for, really. But anyway, so today's prompt being mystery, I decided to go with some purples. So I'm going to be using a little bit of my red ink and my blue ink, and I've kind of been playing around with different mixtures. have a little color combination for how I'm mixing my colors, because it's a little tricky. They all look the same. Even the most diluted color I'm going to be using today looks exactly like all the other versions of purple that I have, but I have one really dark purple and one really light purple. And so I'm just going to come in here and start working with this really light purple, and kind of just freestyling a little bit. Got to hit record on my camera. I decided to do some time lapses of a few of my Inktober pieces, and today I am going to be continuing that. Yesterday I recorded my tiger, and I uploaded a time lapse of that. If a few of you guys may have noticed that I just uploaded it just a few hours ago, so some of you might not even have seen it yet, but it's there, and I'm probably just going to try to do something like that for a few of my pieces that I like. But I'm gonna record all of them just in case I get something that I really like and want to record, or want to re-upload as a time lapse, similar to the tiger. I was a big fan of the tiger. I liked the way that it came out, and I put a lot of effort into it, so I figured, might as well upload it as a time lapse. So for those of you that didn't make it all the way through the live stream, or just wanted to see how quickly it came together, you could always check that out. Am I growing out a beard? No, I'm just lazy. For today's prompt, I went from castle to forest to finally a van. Yeah. This today's prompt was a little tricky to think up something. Oh, you're welcome, Mandy. I really enjoy your pieces. Keep sending them my way. Happy to share it. Oh, hello, Sapphire. I'm glad you're able to make it to the live stream. Hello, Brenda. And Shiny. And Mara. Welcome. Glad you guys could make it to the live stream. I think I need to add a little bit more water to this purple. It's a bit darker than I want it to be. So mix that up a little bit. Yeah, so today I'm doing kind of a forest scene. I don't know if anyone has seen the post over on Facebook, but I kind of already did kind of a version of this piece here, and I'm going to continue to build on all the details that I did, and just make it a full composition, and see how that goes. No shave November. Yeah, I'm starting that a little bit early, I guess. No, I just these all these Inktober pieces. Who has time to shave their face? Nah, it's actually it usually gets itchy, which is why I never keep it. But it's actually been kind of tolerable in the sense that I haven't had any time to think about the fact that my face is itchy. But I appreciate you guys noticing. I was kind of hoping that I was going to be so small in the corner that that you guys wouldn't ever notice that I'm being lazy. So am I using those inks like watercolors? Yes, I'm using the inks just like watercolors. Well, at least what I imagine watercolors feels like, because I've actually never used watercolors before. So, yeah, I'm just diluting them in water to get my different values. doing a little bit of mixing between the red and the blue. I'm using, I'm using 2 drops of blue and 8 drops of red to get this particular hue of purple. And it's working out. It's working out really, really well. And then for my lighter colors, I used 20 drops of water alongside that particular combination of purple, and that's about it. It's kind of that's kind of my secret recipe for this purple. The red is the magenta and the blue is the cyan. So these are really, really warm colors. Even for a blue, the cyan is a really warm blue. Yes, thanks for reminding me, Ankush. Anybody else doing the fat nugget challenge for tomorrow's prompt? I hope to get a few fun iterations of nugget from all of you, and I look forward to waking up in the morning and start to begin the drawing process to figure out how I'm going to make my fat nugget. That certainly takes the pressure off for tomorrow's prompt, that is for sure. Not having to worry about what I'm going to really do. Having the fat nugget is going to make my life a little bit easier. I'm going to come in here with even lighter purple. Try to fill in the background. I don't really want any white happening here, so I'm trying to get kind of the lightest colors that I can. What time is everyone at? It's 3:55 in the morning. Oh my goodness. Shiny, thanks for your dedication to the live stream, that's for sure. Speaking of dedication, so I don't know if he would want me to share his name, so I won't. But I just wanted to give you guys some really awesome information as far as to what happened to me when I woke up this morning. So I woke up this morning and I had a couple emails. So I checked what the first email was, that I got a new patron, which is awesome. I always love waking up to a new patron notification. And the other notification that I got was that somebody donated a pretty large amount of money to me via PayPal, and sent me a message over on Facebook kind of letting me know their reasons behind it. And it was just such a wonderful message to wake up to. In a nutshell, it was basically just, them recognizing my hard work and wanting to show their support. And I was extremely taken aback by it because it was such a kind gesture. And I just wanted to share that with everybody because it really just made my day. It's just been a wonderful day since I woke up. All day has just been great, and I'm very, very grateful to that individual, and they know who they are. So Yeah, I just wanted to share that with everyone. Thank you, Brenda. Oh, hello, Beatrice. And Kolya, Sebastian, welcome, welcome. Yes, Wendy, it is definitely a fantastic motivation to continue to pursue my career as an artist and as an educator. I have to make sure that I put that bit in there because a lot of what I do just for the art, but even more so I do it for the sake of teaching people everything that I know about creating and helping to inspire others to create. That's kind of what my career has turned into. So much more than just making art, but helping others make what they want to create. Just making the world a more positive and inviting place for people. So when I saw that, I had a really, really hard time figuring out what to say back. I really had no words for it, and I'm still at a total loss as far as how to how to respond, because it was such a kind gesture, and I am just beyond grateful. Hello, Kezerator. Good evening to you. Oh, hello, Chrissy. Yes, I know it's a little late there in Australia. I apologize for keeping you up late. But you should be able to make it to tomorrow's live stream fairly easy. I'll have tomorrow's live stream a little bit earlier in the afternoon. That way, those of you in Australia, Japan, and the the East will have a little bit easier time coming to the live stream. Just going to try to put in as much of this lighter detail in the background as I can. I'm not really drawing anything specific. I'm just trying to create a light texture, and then as I come forward into the foreground, that texture will be enhanced by darker objects in the foreground, and I kind of have my values already mixed a little bit. But I want to have plenty of texture here. So I'm going to try to put in a lot of little grass details and little bushes and sticks and things, just to create a nice, interesting scene with lots of fun things to look at. Hello, Diane. The Inktober is so fun and hard. I'm doing it for the first time this year. Most of my drawings are done as school hours. Yes, yeah, I can imagine, being a student again and trying to participate in Inktober. I would most likely be drawing all of my Inktober pieces during school hours as well. So it's cool that you're putting in the effort to participate, Sebastian, and I appreciate you taking the time to send over some of your drawings as well over to me on Facebook. happy to share them. Put like a fallen tree in the background, I think. So if everyone is going to draw Nugget tomorrow, can I draw him with Tidbit? Absolutely, Mara. No rules apply. Draw whatever your heart desires. And if you put in Tidbit, that's cool too. All right, I think I got enough details in the background here. I think it's safe to move on to some of the closer objects. Yeah, I think it's about time to move on to some of the closer objects. So I'm just going to move up a single shade of my purple here. Maybe that seems a bit bright, or a bit dark actually. Might need to add a bit more water to this mixture. Yeah, I'm gonna add a little bit more water to it. This is something that I need to get used to when working with this medium, is that I'm going to be constantly kind of adjusting my dilution levels of my ink to kind of work with all these different values that I want to do. It's really fun, but it's quite difficult as well. Bring in this tree here. And there's another tree I got in front of it, so if you do multiple layers, it kind of automatically darkens it. So I try to do the trees in like a single kind of a single brush stroke. That way I don't get too much value changes happening all at once. And then a little bit of detail there. And then brush out the roots of the tree, kind of like that. It almost looks like a face over the man. Well, you got a good eye, Sebastian, because it is 100% a face that you're seeing there. And it will become even more clear once I add in a bit of the details that I intend to have right there for the face. I wanted to kind of hide the face into the tree because today's prompt is mysterious, so I wanted to kind of create a little mystery behind this scenery a bit. And so I thought, oh, how cool would it be to hide a face. I came across a few Salvador Dali pieces while I was looking for reference photos and such that kind of inspired this piece. And one of Salvador Dali's paintings was of a mom and their child sitting on the beach, and the entire picture created a face. And so it made me think of adding a face kind of hiding in the trees a little bit right there. Did I make Anna banana bread yesterday? Actually, that's a funny question that you ask, because I tried to use the bananas to to make this kind of really lazy banana chocolate pudding by just mixing cocoa and a little bit of syrup into a bowl. They're just mashing up the bananas. But the bananas were a little bit too ripe and it didn't work out ideally. So Anna just took the mixture that I had made and added, the flour and sugar and stuff that she needed to in order to make the banana bread. She baked it in the oven and it actually turned out really good. So she salvaged the terrible banana chocolate pudding thingy and made it into banana bread. So so we did end up making banana bread, but it was kind of a last ditch effort to use the bananas in some way. Oh, hello, MWB Arts. I'm glad to hear you're enjoying the Inktober works. Yeah, I've been enjoying seeing everyone's as well. I've been enjoying participating and doing these live streams also. It's been a whole bunch of fun, just endless amounts of fun. And it's been really interesting with the colored ink now as well. Definitely a learning process for me. So it's always nice to get into new mediums, because it just opens up so many unique possibilities for creating, because you just get a new perspective on processes, and it lets you think of new ideas that you can apply to other mediums as well. So kind of pushing yourself into something new can end up being beneficial to something that you've already had tons of experience with. I'm going to try to ink my guy here walking with as much precision as I can manage with this brush. It requires a bit more concentration, so forgive me for going quiet. Trying to make it smooth, that's like the real challenge, is getting getting the smooth coverage can sometimes be a little tricky. But there we go, I think that's good. Can I sell work done in a good sketchbook, or should you only sell art from individual purchased sheets? If somebody wants to buy work that you've done that is just is literally a sketchbook, sell it. It's up to you, really. Let's face it. You can give anything a price tag, and if somebody is willing to buy it, then there's no rules. I most likely wouldn't be very interested in selling my sketchbooks. A lot of them are kind of journals to me, like almost private journals, so I don't really have much interest in trying to sell them. But if you had a piece, a sheet in your sketchbook that you wanted to just tear out because somebody wanted to buy it, sure, by all means, sell what you can if that's your goal. I don't sell a lot of my original work because I don't post it for sale. For one, I don't post things for sale. If you've ever been to my website, you only see my courses that are for sale, and for that reason, I don't get a lot of offers for my artwork, which is fine by me, because to be honest with you, I kind of prefer not getting too many offers, because I'm not keen on selling my original work, because most of the time I'm creating just for myself, and for that reason I'm a lot less inclined to part ways with some of my favorite pieces. So let's see, I need to add in a root over here for this tree, and for this tree here. Sorry, I feel a little preoccupied today. I apologize for that. Oh, hello, Anna. Oh, your banana sensor? That's funny. Yeah, we were discussing banana bread a bit. Gosh, I honestly, I feel kind of lost today, conversationally. If you guys have any questions, please, it would really help out. I just totally feel in a different world right now, and it's not necessarily because of this lovely purple scene I'm creating here. Just kind of lost in my own thoughts a little bit. So I apologize for that, for being a little distracted. I think I'm partially still in shock from this morning. I sure hope the color on the screen is showing up as vibrant as this purple is right now. No, I don't think that I have seen those kind of trees. So tell us about this piece if you haven't already. Oh, hello, Silvern. Yes, I suppose I can try to, talk a little bit more about the piece. I guess there's no real story to it, except, I have this face here that Sebastian pointed out that I was creating, and I already explained a little bit behind, you know, just the Salvador Dali piece that kind of influenced this this idea of adding the face. And other than that, really, it's kind of just playing around. I have this clock over here that I'm going to do right now, in fact. And I guess I'm just adding bits and pieces of things that I associate with mystery. So I have this kind of face, this unrecognizable face, this kind of hooded figure of a guy walking through, and you know, where he's going, we don't know. Why he's going, we don't know. And over here, I haven't quite developed the details yet, but I have this kind of creature kind of arched up in this tree right here, and he's just kind of looking down over here towards the guy. And I don't know, I guess in a sense, for me, this piece is in itself a mystery, because I don't really quite have a clear story behind it. And even if I did, I think that it would just be better for me not to know. It makes the piece even more mysterious, because it could be seen as a mystery for everyone that looks at it, but it also is kind of a mystery for myself as well, because not even I am fully aware of what's happening in the piece. I'm going to add in some of my darker trees now. I guess a larger brush would probably be a little bit of a benefit for this tree here, especially. I'm just gonna continue adding branches and details, and hopefully create a really good depth with my values. Okay, Wendy. Well, I look forward to that. Hello, Christopher. Good evening, Riss. Good to see you. What size graphite pencil should I get to draw with? What size? I'm not quite sure I understand the size that you're referring to. When I draw with graphite, if I'm doing a sketch with graphite, the density is what I usually am concerned about. And for sketching, I like to use 2B for sketching, because it's the softer graphite and it has a little bit easier time erasing it. So I prefer to sketch with that. You could also try like some of the lower H's, maybe like a H1 or something. They're more dense, so they're a little bit scratchier. But maybe an HB, that's kind of a mix between the B's and the H's, kind of really mid-range, exactly mid-range lead density, and that can help you kind of lightly sketch in some lines and whatnot. but it's all personal preference. You can often buy sets of pencils that offer all the ranges pretty much, and you can find your favorite one. But I tend to lean towards the 2B pencil, like the softness of it, but it also sharpens to a good point, so you get the benefits of both worlds on that one. One of the things with this piece here that I had already kind of established this value range with the purple earlier, and the composition. You're probably wondering how I'm not really thinking about what I'm doing, and it's because I already worked out the composition of this earlier. Really the one thing that I found that I struggled with was the ground. I kind of don't know what to do to fill in the ground. So I'm a little lost on that. I'm just going to try to work slowly up to that point, and hopefully I'll come up with something along the way. Because it's a forest, so there's going to be a bunch of leaves and stuff. And how I create that leaf texture is kind of beyond me and my inexperience with this medium. On the smaller study piece that I did, because I am essentially painting this for the second time, I just kind of splattered some ink. And it was okay. It looks better because the study piece I did is teeny tiny, but I don't think it would work very well for this size here. So I'm gonna have to come up with some other strategy as far as getting the ground to have the texture that I want. Also, my trees here, I don't think my trees here are dark enough. I kind of want them to be a bit darker. Use shades of purple and blue for the autumn ground. Yeah, well, that's what I'm going to do. I'm still going to be using my purple and bluish tones for the ground and stuff. Just it's more about creating the texture that I'm not quite sure how I'm going to approach that. I think I might just tap my brush similar to what I'm doing with the tree right here, kind of creating a bark texture, I guess, on the trees just by tapping it. I think I'm just going to do something similar with the ground. I'm going to fill in the rest of these trees before I get too caught up in the details. Use your brush shape and lightly lay it on the side of the brush with light pressure to get the shape of leaves. Yeah, that's exactly what I was kind of thinking of giving a shot at, is just kind of laying it down on the side and tapping it along with some of my lighter tones, and then building up my values like that. Help my trees not look like they're just floating in the air. once I ground my trees a little bit, I think this piece will start to come together a bit nicer and won't look so, I don't know, odd. I also need to add in a bit of my blacker, darker values as I build up my purples here. I feel like it's just, I feel like it's a little plain, I guess. And I might even add in some blues to give it more of a dual toned color rather than this monochromatic purple. My page looks all wrinkly, unfortunately, so I don't think that you guys are getting the same view of this piece as I am, so hopefully it doesn't look as terrible as I see it on my screen. Oh, you finished your rose piece. That's good. I hope that you like the way it came out. Yeah, yellow does work really nice with purple as the complement, but yeah, I didn't plan for the use of any complements in this piece in my preparation. So I think the most I'll do is lean towards a bit of blue in a few of the spots, just to bring out a cooler kind of mood. I'm already wanting to get more colors of ink. I was looking at a bunch of pieces today, and I kind of like the really bright, almost neon typed colors, and then diluting them in water to just create really crazy kind of bright colors, which is totally unlike me. I never do anything really that's bright. So the fact that I had that kind of desire to do such a thing was a bit strange coming from me. Alright, now I think I'm gonna go darker first on the trees maybe before doing the ground. Or nah, I think I'll do the ground first. So I'm gonna clean out my brush a little. Come back to my lighter purple. My lighter purple here, and I'm just gonna tap in randomly on the ground. I think I'm gonna leave quite a bit of the white showing through maybe. And I'll work like this horizontally, and then I will take some of my darker purples and slowly creep in towards kind of the horizon area, I guess. And as I do that, I'll try to build up more value towards the foreground. And hopefully that will be enough to create the effect that I want. You're terrible with any brush? Well, it just takes a bit of practice. You can never get, if you're terrible, then you can never get worse if you practice. If you just use it. I like this kind of work that I'm doing now, similar to the horse that I did on day one, because it's really loose, and it's I'm not focused on a bunch of really fine detail, and I can actually get a lot done really quickly, and I'm not going for anything in particular, I guess. Just just kind of throwing the brush at the paper and hoping that all the tiny mistakes are just going to create the texture that I want in the ground here. I think now that it's filled in a little bit better, it does have a much more complete look to it, and I think the only thing that it's really missing at this point is the full range of value. So I'll bring in a little bit of my darker colors. I might add a bit more blue. I'm going to finish off my clock here. I'm going to have to grab a smaller brush. Try to bring in some kind of grassy stick texture in the back and slowly build up those texture layers. Not everything is lying down in the forest, so you gotta complement all your horizontal lines with a few vertical ones. Some grass growing out behind our little tree trunks, or our roots here. Do I think as an artist is it necessary at all to do detailed pieces, or loose paintings suggestive enough are okay too? Well, with that kind of question, it starts to be a little bit too definitive, and I think you should just let your art be whatever it is you want to create, whether it tends to be more loose or it tends to be more detailed. I think it's a personal preference, and it doesn't matter either way, because there's some really amazing artists that do kind of the looser stuff like this, and in some cases I am super envious of some of the work that they make, because they have such a good instinct for color choice, and a lot of them, I guess I can't say a lot of them, but some of them, their instinct for color choice is something that I wish that I had, because they just choose the greatest colors in the whole world. And I wish that I had that kind of instinct with colors, and I don't. I wish that I did, but I don't. And I don't know if it's something that I can learn. Maybe it is, and I hope one day I get to that level. Because some of the watercolor pieces that I see, and just the simplicity of the lines and the colors that create the full scene, or oil paint pieces. I've seen some alla prima oil paint pieces that are just, some of them are palette knife, and they just mix the colors just right to create just amazing scenes with magnificent lifelike lighting. Like, it's the colors that bring it so much life, and I'm not there yet with that color instinct, that color choice, and maybe one day I'll get there, but I feel like I'm miles from getting to that point, and I may never actually get there, but I'm not gonna stop doing my best trying to. Doing stuff like this is really good practice for me in terms of learning, not only learning the medium, but also learning different colors, working with different colors. I don't know if I've ever worked with this purple so exclusively before, and I would have never known exactly what it looked like until I did it. So that's a good question, though. I like that question. Yeah. But for me, I would never judge a piece based on its level of detail. So there's so many different aspects of art that I find attractive. That the amount of detail, some pieces can just have too much detail, and it's like, yeah, I don't really care for it. Somebody spends 400 hours on a giant piece, and it's like, yeah, that's cool, whatever. Like, it's nothing special. Like some of those really hyper realistic drawings or paintings or whatever that are that have tons of detail, but they're not, for me personally, I don't find very many pieces like that I'm inspired by. It's like, cool, that's amazing that you essentially created a photograph, and I certainly have respect for that level of skill. But as far as inspiring me to create, I don't come across very many hyper realistic pieces that I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to draw that or whatever. It's more the really loose kind of paintings and drawings and stuff that I feel like inspire me more to create something that I've never done before. I don't know if anybody else feels like that. You see these hyper realistic drawings and stuff, and you're in awe sometimes of the magnificence of them being able to capture the likeness of a photograph, but I don't necessarily feel a lot of life coming from those types of drawings. That's why even when I approach realism, I do it kind of with the intent of never actually getting fully there, and I always add a little bit of my own personal artistic interpretation of the piece in general. I don't know if anybody else is like that, but that's usually how I do the realism. I always leave a little bit of room to add some of myself into the drawing. Now I'm going through now with my darker purple color, and hopefully with a few layers of this I can darken some of my values. And I think what I'll do after that is I'll drop some blue. I'll drop a little bit of blue into my purple, and add like a subtle tint of some blues into this piece. That was a fun topic, but I don't know if I actually have anything left regarding that topic. It's kind of everything I feel about the hyperrealism. And the funny thing is, I always kind of wanted to get closer to the hyperrealistic work in my own kind of personal work choices. There's this one really great artist, trying to remember his name. I just had his name on the tip of my tongue right before I brought him up. I actually copied one of his pieces for a final project in my painting class that I took a really long time ago in college. The one single painting class that I took, I have to add to that. Omar Ortiz, that's his name, Omar Ortiz. His paintings are ginormous for one, and really, really quite beautiful. And his subjects are amazing. His painting is amazing, and it's hyper realistic work. And it was kind of an inspiration a bit for me personally. And I thought my work in the future was going to lean a little bit more towards that, but I actually find the less realistic pieces to be a bit more satisfying to work on. Not because it's easier. The truth is, I don't find it any more or less difficult to do super realistic pieces to doing the kind of the looser pieces. I actually struggle a little bit more with the pieces that I do that don't focus on every individual detail. Because in a way, having to create your own version of living things, or inanimate things, I guess you could do as well. I just find it a little bit more difficult to have to make it up and also convince the viewer that it's real. Whereas when you're working from a photograph, you have all the vital information sitting there right in front of you. And I find the hyper-realistic approach to pieces to be not as much of a challenge as creating your own world, creating your own objects. Thank you for the style you do. Kind of makes beginners feel more comfortable. Oh, well, that's good. One of the questions that I haven't had to talk about for quite some time is style. That's one of those questions that I kind of see creep in every once in a while. Is people are like, how do you develop your own personal style? And I've talked about this extensively in the past, and it's kind of funny because you're saying that my style, first you're identifying my style just based on other pictures that you've seen me do, and for you to say that it's my style is good in the sense that it helps beginners feel a bit more comfortable or whatnot. I didn't develop any particular style. I just draw, paint, color, whatever it is that I want, and my style just comes out naturally, just like anybody else's style. Now, there's certain subjects and maybe a certain way that you can choose to paint, but regardless of what colors you choose or what style you you work towards creating, you're going to have your own individual style within that particular choice of yours, and that just happens naturally. I feel like all style is really just organic in the first place. So I try to not stress about it, and I always try to not let other people stress about it when they ask me about how they develop their own style. Because I kind of define your art style as being your voice, and just like your voice, you didn't grow up trying to develop your voice. It just develops naturally into what people hear. And I think that your art style develops exactly like your voice does. It as you continue to create, you fall into natural patterns as to how you move your pencil, how you move your brush, how you choose your colors. And as you continue to do that over and over again, your style just naturally evolves unconsciously. Okay, Chrissy, you get some sleep. Take care. Thanks for coming by. David, your style changes all the time. Yeah, that's in the beginning of creating art, you'll feel like your style is just all over the place, and I think that's where a lot of people end up feeling like they don't have their own individual style, and that is essentially artistic puberty, for a lack of better terms. And your style will eventually come out without any thought, without any effort into it. It will slowly just develop. So I'm trying to paint this tiny little detail of this clock here. So it's just requiring a bit of thought. So bear with me if I'm a little distracted for a moment. My 12 is a little darker than everything else. I kind of messed that up. I didn't quite get in the groove of my Roman numeral numbers until number 3. There we go. And I'm just going to make it a random time. There we go. The clock, yeah, I guess I didn't really explain the clock. I honestly don't know. A clock in the middle of the woods. Now, if that's not a mystery, then I don't know much about mysteries, or much about woods for that matter. I just kind of, I liked the look of the clock, and I just felt like it added something strange, something a little strange about the woods. Like, why is there a clock? So that's my reason for the clock. Little weird creature thing up on the tree there. Alright, now I think I'm going to add a little bit of blue. So I'm going to take a couple drops of my blue here. Just add it to an already existing purple. And this ink is super potent. Oh, did my wife come into the live stream? I was wondering when she was going to show up. I might have overdone this blue. I feel really nervous about it. Oh yeah. Yeah, I definitely overdid the blue here. So I think what I'm going to do instead is dilute it a lot. And then I can use it kind of as, what's the word I'm looking for? A toner, I guess. I'll just throw in a bit of this blue. Hopefully this will help create a little bit more of an atmosphere. I'm just going to kind of throw it down and hope for the best. Because at this point I am totally lost. I have not enough experience with this medium, and this diaper paper is just not this paper is just not the right choice for Inktober and this particular medium choice. But hopefully it does something cool by adding just a little bit of blue in there. That's a good observation, Wendy. Yeah, maybe once you pass this part of the woods, time, hold still. I like that. That's a cool theme for this wooded area. What I need to do actually is also bring in some more details up in the front, because it's not quite it's not quite as detailed as I want. You guys are making me laugh in the chat. I'm just gonna throw in some random blue. I don't know. It's just not working for me right now. So I'm literally just gonna throw in some blue and hope for the best. It gives me some more atmosphere. But I do feel like this is a little one-dimensional, which I do not like. but the blue is helping, I feel like, a little bit. So I'm just gonna throw it in. Yeah. All right. Now let's see here. I need some darker kind of trees, branches, and things coming off. Do I have a favorite medium? Yes, I do. It is oil paint, which is something I haven't gotten to do in a really long time. But oil painting has always kind of been my favorite medium. You know what we need? We need a little slug nugget. So I think I'm going to add little slug nugget right behind our guy here. So slug nugget, he's going to be teeny tiny. He's going to be teeny tiny, but I'm going to put his silhouette right here by our little guy. There's little, just itty bitty, teeny tiny little slug nugget. Just right there. That is 100% him, I promise you. He even has a little cast shadow. So he's there, he's in our piece. If anybody's wondering where he's at. All right, maybe a little drop shadow for our clock here, perhaps. And some more grass. Maybe just a stick lying down on the ground. A few rocks. I wish he was the protector of the mystery forest. He's going to get food so he can get fat little nugget tomorrow. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the clock actually represents that it's lunchtime, and this guy in Slug Nugget is gonna go get super fat. That's what it is. You guys figured it out. You figured it out. I still kind of want to splatter stuff. I don't get to do that very often. You know, you don't get to splatter stuff when you when you work with colored pencils. I'm gonna go a little bit bolder with the blue. So I'm just gonna come in here real reckless like with some darker blues. Yeah, I think that paid off. I'm going to even tap him with a little bit of blue. There we go. What else? What else can I do here? Kind of at a loss. The transformation forest. Yeah, you like the blue? Okay, cool. You have the somewhat similar kind of theme in your mysterious piece. That's cool. I look forward to seeing that. Yeah, I'm not sure what else to do here, to be honest with you. I'm trying to think of anything kind of fun and creative that I can do. You know, you talked a little bit about adding some yellow. I'm gonna grab the yellow. I'm just gonna grab the yellow and see what happens. Whoa, what the heck is that? I think I need to shake my yellow a bit. I don't know, something weird came out of my jar. It's kind of slimy. It actually looks like a little nugget, a yellow nugget. Alright. Let's see. I'm just gonna clean my brush really quick. I'm gonna dilute it with some water because I don't want it to be real bright or anything. Let's just see what we can do with a touch of yellow. Yeah. Right along the edge of where the light would be hitting. I want some more water in it. That is super bright. Yeah, I don't know if I like this yellow idea. But I'm kind of stuck with it now, so I need to figure something out. Hopefully that will fade a little bit. Anyways, yeah, I'll touch him with some yellow too. Sure, or whatever. I don't know. I'm kind of stuck on this a little. I don't know what to do. I don't like my trees. My trees bore me. They're boring. I may be overworking this, which can be a fatal mistake here. The yellow is starting to die down a little bit, since it was really blended out. I mean, it was really diluted, so it's only like a teeny tiny touch of yellow, but I feel like I don't know, I just feel like it clashed a little more than I expected. But yeah, I don't know. I think I might call this piece done. I don't really like it, to be honest with you. I can stop recording. I'm most likely not gonna like this once it's fully dry. Yeah. Yeah, I was excited for this piece because, you know, I planned it quite a bit. Here's my kind of quick sketch. And that's what it turned into. So, yeah, it's pretty close. I thought I was gonna like it a bit more. Maybe once it dries. You know, it always looks a little better after it dries. It's still really wrinkly right now, but I don't know. There's just something about it that I really dislike. And I can't quite figure out what it is. So, yeah, hopefully you guys like it a little bit. But yeah, I guess I'm on the fence about it for now. Yeah, I'm on the fence about it. I don't know. But that's going to be it for today, I think. Yeah, I think that's going to be it for today. I'm not going to play with this anymore. You know, they can't all be winners. I've drawn 14 other pictures that, for the most part, I like every single one of them. And I'm going to give this my throwaway day, because I don't really, I wasn't prepared for this medium quite as well as I was hoping for. I don't know how to use ink this way, and this diaper paper is trash for it. So it's a learning experience. There's definitely room for improvement. So yeah, maybe I'll do better tomorrow. Anyways, make sure you send me your finished pieces over on Facebook. I have the link in the description. And I will schedule out tomorrow's live stream. I hope you enjoyed the stream at the very least. I enjoyed hanging out with all of you lovely people. And yeah, I will see you tomorrow. Take care. Peace.